So thank you for watching this video today. We're just going to go through how to take a lot of complex information and break it down into something that can make sense to you. Often in science classes, there's a lot of information to get through, so it's just seems very clunky and all together. And this is a good skill for reading comprehension, for understanding your notes, for using this as a tool for studying, and it works for more than just science classes, but happens most often in science classes. So this is a short passage about passive transport. So the first thing you should be concerned about is what is passive transport. So it says there are four main types of passive transport. So this passage is going to be on the different types of passive transport. And then if you read the whole thing at the end, it says none of these processes require energy. So we want to start by writing the definition of passive transport. So the definition of passive transport is that it requires no energy. Now this passage goes through and it lists different kinds of passive transport. So those are osmosis, diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and filtration. So now we're going to make almost a concept map almost. So we're going to draw 4 arrows down for each of our 4 types and fill them in. Osmosis, diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and last but not least, filtration. Okay, scroll down here a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to understand the definitions of each one, but we're not going to simply reread the material or copy it down word for word. We're going to draw a picture so that the information can make more sense to us. So the passage starts by describing diffusion, and it says diffusion is the simple movement of particles through a permeable membrane down a concentration gradient. So diffusion, down a concentration gradient, it's moving to high to low, and basically we're going to draw it out. Think of a lot of dots outside, 1 dot inside, maybe 2, so it's going to move high to low inside. Facilitated diffusion is what it talks about next, and it says facilitated diffusion uses special transport proteins to achieve the same effect. So over by facilitated diffusion, I'm going to put a star and I'm going to write proteins, because when I think facilitated diffusion, I want to think proteins. So now I'm going to draw my picture. It's the same concept, high to low. So we have all of our dots outside, our 2 dots inside, and then we have some kind of protein here that's going to help and move things from a high to a low concentration. So now for filtration, it says filtration is the movement of water and solute molecules down the concentration gradient, example in the kidneys. So for filtration, I'm going to write kidneys. That seems like a good buzzword to go with filtration. So same thing, I'm going to draw out what filtration is. So it's high to low concentration. And we have all of our dots outside, our 2 dots inside, and we're going to be moving from the outside to the inside, but it's going to be done with a water molecule. So I'll just write H2O here, because water is helping us move it. So another good buzzword for thinking of filtration is moving with water. Coming up with these buzzwords, or when you think of this definition, you should be thinking of this, helps the information make more sense to you. So now for the last type of passive transport, it says osmosis is the diffusion of water molecules. So diffusion we know means high to low concentration. So we'll write that down. Oops, high to low concentration. So here we'll do blue because we know we're dealing with water molecules. So let's say we have one inside and then we have all these waters outside. So we're going to be moving water from high to low. So for osmosis, the key word to think here is water. So now you have your information, you have your definition of passive transport, you have almost a concept map comparing and contrasting the different types of passive transport, and you have pictures to think of to help you visualize the information. So like I said, this is a good strategy for working through difficult material, chunky material. This will happen to you all the time in your science classes. So learning and understanding how to do this will make your lives so much simpler for you. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it and learned something.